Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Thursday, February 20th, 2014. This is Texan TV News from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Carly West. In today's headlines, Kappa Delta Rho hosting their 9th annual Renegent. Texan athletics rank high. Victim sends text message to friend claiming abuse. Official, Lake search for DA's killing. Fire at fertilizer plant leads to evacuation. Cossack militia attacks Russia's Pussy Riot punk. Now today's top story. Tarleton State athletics are ranked number 1 again. The Texan basketball team were ranked number 3 in the NABC South Central regional rankings until their win Wednesday night. Now they are ranked number 1 in their first set of NABC rankings. Even Tarleton's indoor track and field rankings high this week, ranking number 8 in the U.S. Track and Field Cross Country Coaches Association NCAA Division II Regional Team Index. Their next meet is March 1st and 2nd at LSC Indoor Championships at Texas Tech. In campus news, Kappa Delta Rho is hosting its 9th annual Renegent philanthropy event. KDR's president, Marty Stinson, says Renegent is a talent show-based event that gives the Tarleton community the opportunity to buy a pair of KDR gentlemen for 6 hours of service. Stinson says after a recent car accident on Highway 281 involving Amber Carr, KDR decided the proceeds will go to start a trust fund for Amber's 9-month-old baby. He added, "The reason we are donating to Amber's baby is because several of the KDRs were on the first response to the scene of the car accident." Renegent will be held today in the Tarleton Student Center ballrooms from 6 to 9 p.m. In regional news, according to the Stephenville Empire-Tribune, in Dublin, Texas, Jose Perez, 26, was charged for resisting arrest after his girlfriend's friend called the police after getting a text from the victim stating she was being abused while Perez and her drove around town. Chief Sean Fulliger said the friend and the alleged victim were texting back and forth when the woman told her friend that her boyfriend was abusing her as they drove around town. The suspect's vehicle was located by police in the 100th block of East Blackjack Street. Once officers got a written statement from the girl, she decided she didn't want to press charges. The victim had no bruises, cuts, or anything else that would indicate abuse, so police officials had to drop charges of domestic assault. Perez is still being held at Erath County Jail on a $1,000 bond. And now today's Texas, national, and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news, law enforcement told the Associated Press on Wednesday that a dive team is searching for a North Texas Lake weapon related to last year's slaying of Kaufman County District Attorney, his chief deputy, and his wife. The Texas Department of Public Safety, acting on a tip, was searching Lake Tawakoni for evidence of the case. Officials said former Kaufman County Justice of the Peace, Eric Williams, and his wife, Kim Williams, faced capital murder charges in the death of last year's District Attorney, Mike McLeland, his wife, Cynthia, and prosecutor, Mark Haas. Authorities are still building the case against the couple, who are scheduled for trial later this year. They have not yet found the weapon used in the killings. In national news, Iowa authorities ordered the evacuation of an entire northern Iowa city today as firefighters battled a fire at a fertilizer plant. Northwood, with some 2,000 residents, is located on the Minnesota state line, about 130 miles north of Des Moines. Scott Bright, Iowa State Patrol spokesman, said the fertilizer used for crop dusting contains sulfuric acid and that the evacuation is necessary to prevent residents from breathing that chemical. "We are trying to get everyone out of the town and moving them to the Kensett Community Center, about 6 miles south of Northwood. The number one concern is to get everybody out of the town until the fire is put out," says Bright. The fire broke out Thursday morning at the plant at Northwood Municipal Airport, about a mile east of the city. The Mason City Globe-Gazette reported several residents heard explosions when the fire broke out. A local nurse says that residents walked to the Mercy Medical Center, North Iowa, seeking treatment. Some of the general symptoms that we are expecting are including vomiting, nausea, and respiratory conditions, says the nurse. No severe injuries were reported. In international news, Cossack militia attacked Russia's Pussy Riot punk group with horsewhips on Wednesday as the artist, who feuded with Vladimir Putin's government for years, tried to perform under a sign advertising the Sochi Olympics. The group has resurfaced as a thorn for Russian authorities. This week, for the first time in nearly 2 years, the Cossacks violently pulled masks from group members' heads while another member was beaten with a whip as she laid on the ground. The incident lasted less than 3 minutes, and another Pussy Riot member, a man wearing a bright yellow tank top, was left with blood on his face, saying he had been pushed to the ground. "They hit me all across my body. Look at my bruises," said a female member. Afterward, the group gained international attention in 2012. After barging into Moscow's main cathedral and performing a punk prayer, in which they entreated the Virgin Mary to save Russia from Putin, who was on the verge of returning to the Russian presidency for a third term. Later Wednesday, Pussy Riot held another surprise mini-performance next to the Olympic rings in front of the City Hall. Police were watching but did not intervene. A few people heckled them and yelled at onlookers, saying they should be ashamed to watch. 3 Pussy Riot members told the Associated Press that they would plan to resume periodic protest action in the future. Today's forecast is from the Weather Channel and shows a high of 69 degrees and partially cloudy. Tonight is expected to be a low of 37 degrees. Today's broadcast was produced by Laura Rylant and Shelby Hilton. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I'm Carly West. Tune in next Thursday for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.